Yeah, this is giving three threes. We can't write a 7 here because it's the position the 3 would need to go in. So that's a 3.
Now, this exact pattern happens over and over again through the grid. These digits are a 1, 2, 3 triple. And now we get to do exactly the same thing with this 27 cage, because the smallest this digit can actually be is 3.
We can see that the rump of digits left over must have the same total. But then, that's really weird. What I want to do here is to make those blue. But the weird thing is that what I can actually do is make them blue. Green equals yellow is what we've just found out. Green equals yellow. Does that surprise me? Green equals yellow. Ah, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Wow. Okay. So now I know what this line is. Ah, goodness me. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous because we can just use parity on this column.
In fact, I could see right away, because 7 can't go in any of those, and I can't put 7 in a 14 cage, that becomes a 7. And 7 has to go in one of those two. Give me an X-wing on 7s. I can never put a 7 into this 13 cage or into this 10 cage.
We get our first digit over here, which is a 2, because one of those is a 2, so that can't be a 2, so that has to be the 2. Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. Extra fish tonight.
Hello, everyone, and a special hello to Belzita.
Hi, everyone.
Is that how you pronounce your name, by the way, Belzita?
Yeah, that's fine. In Portuguese, it's like the Z sound, Belzita, instead of Belzita.
Sorry, repeat.
Belzita, the Z sound. instead of
Belzita,
S.
a Z sound.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Belzita. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll remember that. I'll try to remember. Welcome everyone. I see lots of familiar names in the chat. Yes, don't forget to like this stream if you indeed enjoy it, so it can reach other amazing people like yourselves. All right, we are hoping and praying that Belzita's internet holds throughout this thing. So everyone, put in your positive vibes to to hopefully make it stable, and we'll get right into the sort of warm-up questions, which are, of course, sponsored by these lovely people around the edges, all of our Patreon and Ko-Fi supporters, sponsoring these first warm-up questions. Let's start out with a weird one. I usually start with a normal one, but let's start out with a weird one. What is the most unusual thing you've ever found on the ground?
On the ground. Oh my god, I have no idea. Can think of anything. Wait.
Secret geology question.
I'll be trying to think
Socrates
of
says.
Yeah, let's think about a rock, but I don't think I saw any weird rock somewhere. Maybe. Oh, I have no idea.
We'll let it sit for a while. Maybe you'll think of some weird rock. Okay, so where do you reside? I know you live in Brazil, but do you live in Sao Paulo or?
No, I live in Bahia, in a small city called Feira de Santana. It's the second largest city in the state, actually, but it's not the capital. I did university at the capital, but I live in the countryside.
Nice. What's it like living in Brazil?
It's good. I think a lot of people don't know how Brazil is like. It's like a normal place,
Yeah. I know.
like every other place.
Yeah, I know some people from Brazil, so I know that it's pretty standard. It's one of the biggest countries in the world, really. So it's pretty.
Yeah, super big.
Yeah. What do you do for work? Or I mean, I guess you study geology, right?
Actually, yeah, I just finished university.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated at geology. still trying to find a job, but it's a little hard right now.
Did you finish your master's or PhD?
No, not yet. It's the next step.
Okay. Well, congrats on finishing university, at least the first step. Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of puzzling?
Yeah, that's the question I was waiting for. Yeah, my manga collection. As
Sorry.
everyone knows, I'm a huge otaku, so I'm wearing an anime shirt too, and I have a lot of mangas. I collect mangas for 14 years now.
Wow.
I have almost 700
Jeez.
babies. And I'm always reading something, always reading mangas. At the moment, I'm reading 544 mangas at the same time. So I don't know how I have time even to do Sudoku because I'm reading too many things.
Is that like different series or like individual books you're reading at the same time?
Different series.
Different series. Wow.
Yeah, different series at the same time.
I don't even know how
have a
you
lot
counted
of
that.
books too. Yeah. No, I have everything on the site. Every time I start reading something, I put it on the site and I start reading it.
Very organized, yeah.
I have a lot of books. And I love reading. My favorite book here, Model Zushi, is a Chinese book.
Is that the same as your shirt?
Yeah, the same as my shirt.
Okay.
I have a lot of things of this book.
I wasn't 100% sure, but
the bunnies that they have in the book. They're really cute. That's 1G. That's Wushin.
Wonderful.
I'm also a K-popper, so I'm always reading, listening to Korean music and also Chinese and Japanese music. And also I like to draw. During the pandemic, I had nothing to do, so I started drawing a lot of things. Also, the draw I did was a math, here's Zach, and fuckers.
Oh wow, look at that. That's Zach. Awesome.
Yeah, the Zach with a hat. A witch hat for Halloween.
Wow. Are you the artist behind Zach?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Maybe.
excellent.
I always drew a lot of mandalas during the pandemic too.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Wow. There's so much detail. I wish it could be better captured.
Yeah, big otaku. I draw a lot of animes.
Unsurprising, yeah.
Yeah, and actually my biggest drawing is a Avatar.
Oh no, load please. Oh yeah, no, nice. Avatar. Epic.
Yeah, I really love that. I watched everything again during the pandemic, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. I definitely need
And of course, as a good geologist, I collect minerals, but they're not here. Unfortunately, I'm not there. But I have a peroxenite right here.
Nice, yeah.
And green sandstone.
Wow. Did you find that on the ground?
Yeah.
Nice. You're definitely gonna need to send like some like nice HD pictures of those drawings to for us to show in the chat or something at some point. Because those look awesome. I post
a lot of them on Neve's Discord.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
Before. But I can't put on the Discord after the interview.
Okay, sounds good. I guess we can go to micro studies question because it seems like you have a lot of different hobbies and interests. Micro had asked, how do you juggle all of your myriad of hobbies and interests?
I don't sleep. I don't eat. I'm always reading. I'm doing smoke. I literally I eat while reading a manga. When I wake up, I'm reading. before I sleep, I read. Or I'm on the Discord on the VC channel on Skunkworks doing stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're pretty
Which
active
are
on
like,
Discord as well, so impressive.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Another weird question. What do you think is the next stage of human evolution? Wrong answers only, please.
Okay, human evolution. Wait. I wish we could read while we are sleeping. That would be good. That would be perfect. I could finish everything that I'm reading right now.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the next phase.
Yeah, it would be perfect. Awesome.
I'm guessing you're more of an inside person, but are you more of an outside or inside person?
Inside, definitely. I almost don't leave the house.
Yeah, fair enough.
But as you can see, I talk a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like there are 10 people inside the house because I'm talking to myself all the time.
That's a really funny way to put that. Um,
Yeah.
all right, let's go into the geology themed questions here because we have two
Yeah.
from viewers. Daniel Silverstone had asked if you could teach us all one thing about geology, what would it be?
Yeah, there's one thing that I don't know if the people don't know about, or there's a misconception about, but the Earth is solid. The
Mhm.
mantle of the Earth is solid. The only part of the Earth that is not solid is the outer core. Everything is solid. Like we're not on top of a magma ocean, something like that. Everything is solid. Magma is only produced in specific places, like the limits up to tectonic plates, like the African plate and the South American plate
Mhm.
are drifting apart of the Atlantic Ocean. In that place, you have magma, for example. And the only place that is not on the limit up to tectonic plates that has magma are hotspots like Hawaii. Hawaii is a hotspot. There's like a fixed heat source on that place, and the plate is moving on top of that source and forms a lot of islands that were once volcanoes.
Right.
It's really interesting.
That is pretty interesting. I guess when people think about like, because they always say that there's like a magma core, people always think that it's like some kind of magma ocean in the middle.
No, there's not. Everything is solid, basically.
Right. So what is it like a solid form of magma or something, or a solid volcanic rock or something in the
No, it's
middle?
rock. Solid rock.
It's just solid rock. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But
Just
it's a different type of rock that we have on the surface. Another
right.
type of mineral is completely different.
Very, very iron rich, I think, right?
Yeah, especially the core. It's
Yeah.
iron rich.
And then Ratfinks, which I believe is Sarah, had asked, what is your favorite mineral in general, and what is your favorite in your personal collection?
Yeah, I saw that question and I was like, what is my favorite mineral? I like a bunch of them. I really like quartz, like the most basic one. But like it has so many different colors
Mhm.
and so many different patterns that we can find in quartz. And I like the ones that have weird names,
Yeah.
like stishovite is a type of a mineral formed when meteorite and crashes the earth.
Okay.
It's really rare. It's a really cool name thing. Like the one that I studied too, I like olivine and serpentine. They're green. they make pretty patterns on the rock. Really cute. And in
Cool.
my collection, I think my favorite one is an origin calcite. It's like a limestone,
Mhm.
but it's not sedimentary. It's organic and it's orange.
Did you say orange or did you say aubergine? Like
Orange.
okay, orange. Okay. I thought you meant like the British word for a zucchini. I was like, that's a weird
No, it's
name
orange.
for a
Because
mineral.
usually limestone are like white, a little yellowish sometimes, but this one is
Right.
really, really orange.
Cool. That is, I've never heard of orange limestone, so that's really cool.
And there is black limestone too. I have one.
Eggplant. Wait, sorry, eggplant. Sorry, guys. My bad. Not zucchini. Uh, my bad. Okay, not geology themed, but microstudy did ask, what is the best food that you've ever had that most closely resembles a cookie?
Mommy, I never ate a cookie.
You never ate a cookie? Is this the secret that
No,
microstudy's
I
trying
have
to get at?
no idea what it tastes like. I don't like biscuits that much too, so I probably wouldn't like cookie.
Did you say biscuits?
Yes.
Okay. You've eaten biscuits and you don't like them, but though they're pretty similar to a cookie. Is that the answer?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
don't
your
like
final answer?
them very much. Maybe if it's chocolate, because I'm addicted to chocolate.
There are quite a myriad of chocolate cookies, so.
Yeah, maybe one day.
So when you say
You can
you've
send me
never
one
had,
micro?
when you say you never had a cookie, do you mean like you've never even had like an Oreo or something like that?
No.
Really? Okay, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just in awe of that. I don't even know how you managed to like stop yourself from eating one of those. Yeah, biscuits definitely aren't as good as cookies for sure. Uh yeah, some Oreos are just
No
bad.
micro Oreos, the real cookies. Cookies.
I first saw Oreos in Brazil. Anyways, moving
There
on
are
from
Oreos in Brazil, just don't buy them.
yeah, okay. Moving on from the cookie discussion, let's move into some puzzle talk, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, so what was the first puzzle that you ever set?
It was actually a sandwich Sudoku.
Mm-hmm.
After I saw Mark video teaching how to do a sandwich Sudoku, but it was not
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah.
So I never saw the light of day.
Right. Uh, how did you go about setting that one? Because I think Clover had mentioned that one, and she said it was a pretty weird way for Mark to go about setting it. So did you set it in sort of the same weird way?
Yeah, I tried to follow the path shown on the video. And it worked, but it was not a good puzzle at all.
Right. Would you ever set a puzzle like that again in that sort of way? Yeah.
I don't think so because I literally had sandwich in all columns and all rows. I don't like that kind of puzzle that much.
Right. Uh, did it take you a while to set it? I mean, you were following along with Mark, obviously, but
I think it wasn't too long,
Mhm.
but it was definitely a lot more time than I took right now. That I take right now to
Yeah.
make puzzles.
Okay. So when did you first start watching Cracking the Cryptic?
Oh, 2020, in the beginning of the pandemic.
Right.
Of course, I saw the Miracle Sudoku video, as everyone.
Right. Of course.
And I thought, whoa, this is cool. I like Sudoku. This is new. that's interesting. So I started watching all the videos, and
Mhm.
I was only doing that for months. Like every day, I'll watch a bunch of cracking the cryptic videos.
Obviously, you had to put some manga reading on hold while you watched the Cracking the Cryptic
And of
videos.
course, yeah, I don't sleep that much because I'm always reading.
Sacrifice sleep for the other hobbies, you know.
Of course. I think when I started watching, I was reading a manga with 500 chapters, so I was like, I don't need to sleep. I have to finish this right now.
Oh my word. Had you ever solved like any variant Sudoku or any just regular Sudoku before you started watching CTC?
Yeah, I used to buy some magazines with like 500 Sudokus.
Yeah.
And there were killer Sudoku, diagonal Sudoku, irregular Sudoku. So I was more familiar with killer than the
Right.
other variations. I think I saw it for the first time watching Crack the Crypt, and I fell in love with thermal
Right.
immediately. I love thermal Sudoku.
There was a
But
pretty
right now,
awesome
I
idea.
think, yeah, region some lines, my favorite, as you can see in my
Yeah.
last 3 puzzles.
Yeah, I can definitely see that from your last few. So how long did it take you to start setting from when you first started watching CTC?
I think it was 1 year, but the first puzzles, they were not too good, I think. But I think I just like start setting for real after I started watching Zeta Math streams,
Mm-hmm.
and Zeta Math and Directionary encouraged me to set again.
Right.
So I started setting again, and I set some puzzles for Zeta Math's tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
After I watched the killer tutorial, the Ramban tutorial too, I set 2 puzzles, like 1 and 2 star puzzles. And then I said, can you count an spermatozoid using set? Because I really liked set at the time.
Yeah, I think someone had asked, I think Ambrose had asked
Yeah.
specifically about set. Ambrose said, how do you feel about set
I
and its
said though,
reputation? You like set still?
I like when it's not over complicated and I can't see the set at all. Not that much.
Right. Do you like,
But I think the set I put in the puzzle, like very obviously, like
right.
you can just see like those 3 columns and that's it. Excellent fish needed.
So, do you prefer to set the set yourself, or do you like solving set as well?
I was sad too. I don't think I do much puzzles by set right now. I used to do them a lot, like last year.
Hmm.
Because I don't think there are too much set puzzles being set right now.
No, not usually. Not many make
Yeah.
it out of the basement. Oh, I guess I sort of missed a geology theme question from Math Pesto, but I suppose this is puzzle related, so maybe we should just go to this before we get out of the geology
Yeah.
section. What drew you to geology, and do you find inspiration from it when setting puzzles beyond just your titles?
Yeah, I like rocks since I was a child because my father is a geography teacher
Hmm.
and he is specialized in geography. So he liked the rocks too.
Yeah.
The house was filled with rocks since I can remember. And I started collecting every time we go on a trip. We went to see our family because our family lives in a really beautiful place. Crazy geological formations, like it's insane.
Hmm.
It's a perfect place to live. Like Chapada Diamantina is beautiful. And I used to collect rocks every time we go there, and we used to buy some too, especially the polished ones. And they were really pretty.
So just because your dad likes rocks and rocks are pretty, basically. So what about the second half?
Yeah.
Do you find inspiration from it when setting puzzles beyond just the titles?
I think like rocks have a lot of patterns.
Yeah.
I think I tend to put some patterns in the puzzles, like the lines in certain positions to make them symmetrical and something like that. But the puzzles are never symmetrical.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
the titles, of course,
yeah, of course.
because I have no imagination. If the lines are blue, I put the name of a blue mineral.
You're right. I think you're running out of blue minerals then, because there's a lot of blue line puzzles.
Actually, bismuth is not blue. I just put the name because my crystal keep asking, where is the bismuth puzzle? Okay, yeah, the bismuth. That's the title. Whatever.
You let micro study influence you in bad ways.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. What question? So I noticed additionally to the trend of the equal sum lines, or I guess region sum lines is what they're called now.
Yeah.
I noticed that you said a lot of 6x6 Sudoku, and that probably has something to do with the Zeta Math 6x6 thing. But is there something in particular about 6x6 that you enjoy?
Yeah, I really like 6x6 because I think a lot of people say that you just put the thing you want the solver to find and the puzzle is resolved.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small scale too. It's easier to control what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I start setting 6x6 for Zeta Math thread.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy 6. They're really fun.
Yeah.
There's
So
a time that I literally only set 6x6 because I had no imagination for 9x9s.
I suppose it's a little bit easier when you don't know how to control the grid to learn using 6x6s, right?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot while doing the 6x6. Like turquoise was a 6x6 idea, and I tried to make it work on a 9x9 idea, and it worked, and I was really happy.
Yeah, let's talk about turquoise for a second because I guess that wasn't your first CTC feature, but it was the most recent one.
Yeah.
And the other one was a collaboration between you and Doomdiat.
Yeah.
How did it feel to get turquoise featured?
I was not expecting that at all. I sent the puzzle to CTC, but I was like, it's not going to be featured. I don't have any hope. And then I was watching Meve's stream, and then I got a message on Discord like, congratulations, Belzita. I was like, congratulations, what? What happened? And I saw my puzzles like, what? No way. No, impossible.
And what about the Doomdiat one? I guess that was your first feature. So did it feel nice to be sort of appreciated for the work that you put into that collaboration? And I'm sure you put a lot of work into the collaboration.
Yeah, collabing with Doomdiat was so fun because I solved his looking screen puzzle when he put it for testing, and like I love the idea of Psycho Look and Say cages because I love Psycho Killer. Brimster, thank you. I love Psycho Killer. And oh, this is really great. And I was talking to Doomdiat like, oh, did you notice that this cage has an entropic restriction and multiple restriction and something like that? And I was like, what if we put an X or a V on the cage? What does it do? Let's set a puzzle with this.
Right.
It was puzzle with this. Like we tried some cage shapes to see what the X's and B's do to the cage. And I had the idea to put XV because the V's and the 15s had similar restrictions.
Mhm.
We actually set the puzzle really fast. Like, I think less than 3 hours we set Sterilite. It was really fast.
What did you think of the the CTC feature of that?
Oh, I was not expecting the puzzle to be featured too. I never expected to be featured in the first place. And I sent the puzzle to see
Mhm.
because I really like the puzzle. Oh my god. It's the top 2-star puzzles on LMD. I love that. I was not expecting that too. But I was thinking, no, they don't like indexing that much. No way they're gonna do the puzzle. And Mark did it, and he was so confused.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what did you think of Mark's solve? Because it was interesting in many ways.
Yeah, I think it's hard to understand the rule set the first time you're reading it because the wording is really confusing. But
Yeah.
once you get the rule set, the puzzle is like really easy.
Mhm.
But the hardest part is getting the rule set.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen any video where Mark said that he had to restart because he started the puzzle but then realized he didn't understand the rule set, so then he had to restart the video, which I've never seen before.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and
9 bucks one. Oh my god.
yeah, DoomDad's comment about Mark using S-cell logic for the entire video is in reference to Mark trying to put 2 digits into the same cell repeatedly and saying, yep, that's fine, and moving on.
That was really funny.
I'm glad you have a sense of humor, but are you one to typically, as Simon says, scream at the screen in frustration at the solvers, or
Sometimes. Sometimes when it's like too obvious, I'm like, oh my god, look at that cell, please. Or I start looking at the comments to see if anyone already solved that and it's already screaming at the comments.
Yeah, of course. I guess this is sort of already answered, but Luda had asked, how did you come up with the Psycho Killer Luxe combination? I guess you sort of answered that by telling the story, but
Yeah. It's
Is
not
there-
my idea, it was DoomDad
oh, okay,
idea.
gotcha.
I saw his puzzle for testing and I did it. And we set 2 puzzles with the rule set, Sterilite and Integral.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. You should do the maybe you should do the puzzle too. Please.
And very apologizing on stream to Isabella. Also, I
Yeah,
need to
he's
ask.
running from the second look and say.
I need to ask because Isabella, your name, only has 1 L, but in your
Yeah.
setter name, it's Belzita with 2 L's. Where did the other L come from?
I just exposed myself because when I was a teenager, I was really into Twilight.
Oh,
And the main character is Bella. His nickname was Bells with 2 L's, and I just used that.
gotcha.
So, oh my god, why did he only has 1 L? Bells has 2 L's before I start writing my name with 2 L's.
The trick was that it wasn't you, Isabella, it was a different Isabella. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I when I was making all the like thumbnail and all the things, I kept accidentally spelling it with 1 L and realizing and going back because I kept trying to spell your name Isabella with 1 L when I was typing in chat or whatever. Yeah, so that I just kept accidentally spelling it wrong both ways. It's an interesting question from Wisteria.
Yeah,
She
but
asked,
I actually just use
yeah,
bells most of the time.
most of the time, yeah.
But on LMD, bells were taken. It was
Oh,
like I searched for the name. They never said a puzzle or solved anything. It's just there. Bells. I
they
was
just
like,
came back
why?
from the future to take your name. That's kind of weird. I would think that if they didn't do anything, then the name would be available. But yeah, that's kind of weird. Um, Wisteria had asked, "What is a puzzle that you love that really surprised you?"
I think the first chaos construction that I managed to do myself, Charity by the Cogito. I was like, oh my god, I never did a chaos construction before, but let me try this one, whatever. And I was able to do it. I was like, oh no, oh my gosh, finally my first chaos construction puzzle, yeah!
Was there something specifically
And the
surprising
logic
about
in
it?
this puzzle is so good.
Which one was it? It was by Kagisho.
Yes, Charity.
Starity. Yeah, that is a great puzzle.
Yeah.
Except for that one step in row 9.
Like
Uh,
the logic with the dots are really good.
yeah,
And how three
definitely.
dots couldn't be in the same region was really cool.
Yeah, that is a surprising puzzle for sure. Uh, I noticed that quite a few of your puzzles are like on the easier side, or that just like they just flow very well. How do you accomplish that
Yeah.
when you're setting?
The thing I can't set anything hard, even if I try, I can't. So I just go for smooth.
Right.
I know it's gonna be on the easier side anyway, so I'll try to put interesting logic and the fun.
The
Very
very
often. This is not they I think more about the flow. But I still don't think
yeah.
my mid solves are good. The breakings are good, but the mid solves like so.
Is that would you say that's something you're working on?
Yeah, I'm trying to improve that a little bit. Working more. Like I said the breaking and they're just like, oh my god, I have to set the rest of the puzzle. What do I do? And starts working more with the clues that I add after the breaking.
Right.
Good question, Chameleon. I really don't know.
That is a great question. uh, so I guess following up to this discussion on Naverio, who's your favorite person to watch solve your puzzles?
Oh my god, the trick question.
Is
Just say
it Naverio
everyone
because
because I
it's
love
funny?
everybody. They are awesome solvers, awesome setters.
So that's your answer,
No
is just
micro can
everyone?
do anything. Yeah, everyone. I'm not gonna choose one.
Okay. Do you find more enjoyment in solving or setting puzzles?
Solving. I solve a lot of puzzles. I really like solving it. I like setting, but not as much as solving. I really enjoy solving puzzles. The process of trying to find the logic the setter put in the puzzle. I really like that.
Are you one to like sort of go back if you can't find something and try to find like what the setter intended, or
Yeah, I try to do the puzzle until I finish it. Like I start a puzzle and I get stuck, and I try the next day. And if I don't finish in that day, I try the next day. I keep trying until I finish the puzzle. I, I almost never give up on a puzzle.
right? You never give up on a puzzle. Uh,
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. Is there any reason why you would give up on a puzzle or why you wouldn't want to start a puzzle? Is there any like reason that you like are like, oh, this is a CC or something, a chaos construction. I don't want to do chaos constructions.
Little killer. If I saw a little killer, nope, I'm not gonna do that at all.
There,
My mind doesn't process a diagonal thing on little killer. Just can't do it.
right.
Between line two, like I can never spot the breaking on a between line puzzle. Never. I just stare at the puzzle for hours. What am I supposed to do here? What? No, micro. Yeah, Mixel, no little killer. No, 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 no.
Woofer's ZFG or Woofer ZFG had asked, does solving a lot of puzzles impact you as a setter, and do you draw inspiration from the puzzles that you solve?
Yeah, definitely. When I start setting, I was more like, how I'm gonna make this puzzle unique. But now it's more like, how I'm gonna make the logic interesting and the solve path smooth for the solver. I think about the solver more when I'm setting.
Right.
Instead of just like trying to make it unique.
Definitely.
And I take the inspiration for the puzzle I solve, definitely. But most of the puzzles I solve another type of puzzle that I set, actually, because I solve a lot of math pencil puzzles like chaos construction, hybrids and stuff like that. And I don't set anything like that.
Right. Is that something that you want to set in the future, or are you happy setting like
definitely.
normal
I would love
stuff?
to set a chaos construction. I just don't know how to do it. I'll figure it out someday.
I guess this is sort of related. Rat Finks had asked, which setters give you the most inspiration, or have given you the most inspiration on your own setting journey?
Math pencil.
Math pencil.
I solve almost all puzzles. Like I only have 3 left now. Codex, Data Math, Univariate, J-Dyer, and always solving their puzzles. When I see their puzzle testing, I'll just do it because I love them.
Nice.
And of course, after I joined Skunkworks, we solved a lot of puzzles on the voice. So Mixel with Jams, Yum, Chili, Riff Clown. I learned a lot from them. Seeing they solving puzzles. And seeing their setting puzzles too.
And then I guess we'll follow up that one with David Ratner had asked from Ratfinks' question, would you like to collaborate with someone who gives you inspiration or someone different?
Definitely. I don't know if I would do a collaboration before than I did with Doomsday. I'll probably do more in the future. If anyone wants to do a collab, send me a message on Discord. I'm up for it.
I guess answering someone.
Puzzle.
I guess answering that question with someone different is sort of like saying Doomsday doesn't inspire you, which is kind of mean.
Oh my god! Sorry.
No, it's no. I don't think you even
things to remember. Yeah. Sorry, Doomsday.
No, that's a joke. Don't worry, Doomsday's feelings, I'm sure, is safe. He's laughing. So, I guess we'll ask a question from Doomsday. Doomsday asked, what do you consider to be your biggest strengths and weaknesses as a setter?
Yeah, weakness, definitely mid-solve.
Mid-solve,
I have to improve that a little bit. Yeah, I think my breakings are actually good. I can definitely put the logic that I want on the breaking. and they often very matching, unfortunately.
Right.
But I like match stuff, so it's fine.
And your biggest strength?
Um, I think I try to make the puzzle look good and look
Yeah.
symmetrical. I think that's a strength. My puzzles are pretty, I think. Well,
That's
they're never
good.
symmetrical. I try, but I can never achieve the perfect symmetry because I always get that little pattern at the end.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, rocks aren't always symmetric, so they at least with a little bit of asymmetry to them.
Yeah, I love symmetry. Oh my god.
Have you ever tried setting non-Sudoku?
No. I'm still getting used to solving non-Sudoku.
Right. But I guess you say you've tried lots of hybrid with Sudoku at least.
Yeah, I do a lot of hybrids, but I don't do a lot of pencil puzzles. I I try to do more, especially because of Mixel.
Hmm.
I think I love a lot of Mixel's Philomena puzzles and MDF too.
That's good.
And the weird cipher Japanese sounds that we do almost every day.
Oh, where do you do that?
Skunk works.
Oh, Skunk
Everything is
Works.
Mixel's fault.
Everything is mixed as well. Okay, I'll keep that in mind when
Yeah.
I'm complaining later. Um, uh, what's your biggest puzzling regret? Is there any puzzle you'd like to redo or take back?
The 1591, of course. Yeah, why did I put the max clue? No, mean clues. Why? Why? They don't do anything.
The one on LMD with JK.
Yeah, that one. Just ignore the mean clues.
Ignore the min
No,
clues.
it's very old. Yeah.
So what happened here?
I don't know. I was trying to make the middle cell on the whispers low somehow.
Uh-huh.
Just put a min cell. Okay.
Are you one of the setters who are adverse to given digits?
Oh, I put a lot of given digits actually.
Oh yeah.
I think I put a given the last great puzzle. No, I don't remember if I put a given in topaz.
Right.
No, I don't think I did.
I can check Topaz.
Yeah, I don't think there is one.
There's no given.
But Bismuth and Turquoise, they have givens.
Right. Have you tried setting like a novel rule set?
I don't have that much imagination.
So what stops you when you're trying to set a if you ever tried to set a novel rule set?
I think I'll probably break the puzzle 100 times until I find out that the rule set is actually broken from the beginning. This problem was going to happen.
Right. I think you should try sometime. Might be cool.
I'm still learning.
Yeah. How long does it normally
Something
take
new
you?
every
Yeah. Yeah, don't knock the classics. Standard rule sets are cool too. How long does it take you
Yeah.
to set a puzzle from beginning to end usually?
They don't take too long because I almost set everything in my mind first.
Hmm.
Then I just draw, see if it works or not. Usually I get a daily pattern at the end, and I had to add a clue to disambiguate that. That's why the puzzle not symmetrical. There's always a clue to disambiguate that daily pattern, fortunately. Oh my god. The worst one is forced and grabbing. There's a diagonal to cell ribbon. I hate that ribbon. There was a 135 definitely pattern that I couldn't get rid of no matter what I did. So I'll just put that ribbon then.
What environment do you prefer to set in? Do you need quiet to set, or do you prefer to be like reading manga at the same time?
Usually when I'm solving, when I'm studying, I'm listening to music
Mhm.
and singing. I'm always singing. Even when I'm in the voice chat, my mic is always turned off because I can't stop singing. Like I
Okay.
say something, then I turn my mic off and I immediately start singing. Oh my god.
That's kind of hysterical, to be
No,
honest.
reading manga would be difficult. Really difficult.
Yeah, probably. You might get confused between the Sudoku and the manga. Not be able to follow the plot of
Yeah,
either one.
definitely. Yeah.
Uh, are you a good singer? Like, do you consider yourself a good singer?
Not bad, but not good too. Average.
Average, okay. Um, how would you? Oh yeah, that's true. What are you singing? Are you singing K-pop, or is there like a specific playlist that
K-pop.
you K-pop?
Yeah, Chinese songs, OSTs from the dramas I watch, K-pop, J-rock, some random Korean raps, and sometimes randomly I'm singing Elton John, Michael Jackson.
Respectable, respectable. Uh,
Yeah.
how would you describe your reputation as a constructor, aside from, of course, Niveria?
I think like I made approachable puzzles that have interesting logic in them. Maybe. I think. I hope.
Okay. I think that's generally how people want to be received. Um, are there any puzzles that you've solved that have had like a massive impact on how you view puzzles, or maybe that you've seen solved?
I think recently there are two codex puzzles that I really enjoyed, and I think that they are really good. Like Stingray and Owl. They were fantastic. Oh my god. I don't know why people are not talking about those two puzzles. They are insanely good.
So take a look at those at some point.
But I'm biased because I love indexing,
Okay.
and most people don't like indexing that much. And they are number room puzzles with parity lines.
Right, okay. Yeah, okay.
I
He
love them. They are
does love his numbered rooms.
yeah.
Numbered rooms are pretty sweet. Is there something that other setters do that annoys you? Like, what's your puzzling pet peeve?
I don't think there's anything that annoys me. Well, like if I see a constraint that I don't like, I don't do the puzzle.
Okay.
Simple like that.
Is there anything like in setting that annoys you? Like when you're setting? Obviously the diagonal Renban in that in that one puzzle
Oh
annoyed you.
yeah, the branching Ramban. Why? Why a branching Ramban? Oh my god.
Maybe
I
clarify.
like the ambiguator black dots, even square, don't mind them. They're cute. But the branching ribbon was a little bit too much.
Okay. So you don't like, I guess, inconsistent clues or something? Like, it doesn't fit the theme, I guess.
Yeah. I put some of them in my puzzles, unfortunately, like 2 siren bands and a white dot. Why not?
Well, in this case, the two Soren bands and the white dots, like for the Horsting Graben, uh, I guess they sort of serve a different geometrical or visual purpose, right? So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I usually prefer lines, but sometimes with white dots, you can, like, when you have 3 white dots, you can put exactly the middle digit in the middle.
Right.
When on Rainbow can do that. But I usually prefer lines, they look better.
If you had to only choose one variant to set with for the rest of your career, what would you choose?
Or just some lines,
Okay.
definitely.
What about region sum lines makes you want to choose them?
I really like how you can play with geometry
Mhm.
and arithmetic at the same time on the region sum lines. That's
Mhm.
really cool.
Do you feel like you won't run out of ideas with region sum lines, or are you already starting to run out of ideas?
I think one day I will run out of ideas. But right now, I usually try to think of a pattern of line and see what does it do.
Hmm.
Like, suppose I draw the pattern of the lines in a symmetrical way because I thought it looked cute. And it had some really nice restrictions, but the puzzle was broken because it
Hmm.
was too symmetrical, and you got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quintuple in a row, and I had to change one line to make it not symmetrical. It broke my heart. Turquoise was the same thing. I just drew random lines, and when I saw that they forced roping and something like that, oh, that's really cool.
Right. I guess we sort of answered Doomdad's question of what drew you to loving symmetry and puzzles that you create, but if there's more to that than just the rocks. uh,
Yeah, no, I'm actually obsessed with symmetry.
okay.
Like, when they were doing a reform in my house, they tried to put the tiles on different angles. I was like, no, please. This one is upside down. This same side. Come on, just put them symmetrically in the same position. Come on. And no
So you,
one noticed that they were not in position. Just me. I was like, no, that line, you see that line on this tile, it has to be in the same position of that line on this other tile. It to be perfect.
right. Andrew Sakas had asked, where on the setter alignment chart do you see yourself?
Oh my god, that chart is awesome. I didn't know it existed before. I think a problem on the good side, maybe chaotic good.
Okay.
I'll try to aim for chaotic evil someday,
You'll try to implement
but
the
I'm still on the
evil.
good part. Yeah.
According to Naverio, that's already happened, but it's only him that believes.
I agree with Pearl. Symmetry.
Yeah, those who like symmetry and those that are wrong, though, like not liking symmetry.
Yeah, I'm definitely chaotic. Just don't know good, neutral, chaos. Not in the puzzles. Me, I'm chaotic.
Fair enough. I suppose chaotic people might not like symmetry as much as lawful people, but you can be chaotic and like symmetry, I suppose. Um, Ron Planer had asked, do you like puzzles that almost melt your brain?
Joined in more after I
Okay.
joined in Skunkworks. Because we are always doing some 5 out of 5 puzzles, really difficult puzzles that took us like 3 hours or something. And they growing on me.
Would you ever set something like that yourself?
If I could, definitely, but I can't.
Do you ever set something that you think is going to be harder and then it turns out it's actually not hard at all?
Yeah.
A common occurrence.
I can't think of anything too hard. It's always like average or easy. Yeah, I can spot some difficult logic and tricks, but I can't think of one myself.
So when you're just putting in like random lines and stuff, do you never spot anything that you would think is a little bit more difficult?
Sometimes, but I think most of the time I don't want to set a difficult puzzle.
Okay.
I want like a 3-star or lower most of the time.
So maybe you have the capability of setting something hard, but you don't want to.
Maybe, you know.
We'll have to see in
I
the
think
future.
the most difficult puzzles I have are
Mhm.
roast and grabbing. It was not the idea to make it 4-star in the first place, but it ended up being 4-star. And the one I said with Doom Diat, but that one we intentionally make it harder. The first
Okay.
version of the puzzle was like a 2-star, but we already had one 2-star puzzle, so we wanted a little more difficult.
And I think it ended up
So we changed the puzzle.
4 times.
Yeah, and we made everyone the Skunkworks test it.
Mhm. Wisteria had asked, what is a puzzle that taught you something important?
Let me think. I think a lot of more Magley's puzzles teach me a lot of things I didn't know about rim bones and doublers and some crazy geometry. I think they're really fun to do.
Whose puzzle? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Or Magley's.
Or Magley's. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the name of the puzzle right now that had like uh, a lot of square shaped rim bones. The logic
Mhm.
of this puzzle is really good.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, David Ratner had asked, to date, what has been your most or your proudest moment in being a setter slash solver?
Oh, I think the first time Zeta Math did my puzzle, he sent me a message because he saw that I posted the puzzle on MD,
Mm-hmm.
and he did on the screen, and I was really happy. I was like, oh my god, my puzzle!
Did they find
And I was really happy that
yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Are you going to ask if he found the intended breaking? The intended logic?
Yeah, I was going to ask if you have any intended logic, but you were saying that you were
I
really
actually
happy.
did in a completely different way. And I was not aware. Like, I really set this puzzle to be a set puzzle.
Of
And
course.
he didn't use set at all. Oh my god, you can solve that without set? Wow.
uh, so we've talked a little bit about Zeta Math Stream and how it's been important to you, but from yourself, like how has that stream like helped your development in setting and solving?
I think if I didn't start watching Zeta Math stream, I'll never set anything again. Like, I didn't have the inspiration
Right.
and they encouraged me to set it. And I started doing some puzzles, and they started solving it. So, oh, this is fun. Should do more.
Nice. Thanks. Sorry. Um, so it's just the community, or was it partially like the group solving aspect of it that helped you to develop some of your solving skills, at least, I guess?
Yeah, I think watching them solve and helping improving my solving skills a lot. Because I'll probably never try to solve the puzzles they solve in the stream.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was solving the difficult puzzles, I learned how to do it myself. And I
Right.
started doing more difficult puzzles.
Definitely. Yeah. So we were talking about with the collaboration with Jumget, you said you had like 4 versions of the puzzle. Do you often create like multiple copies of the same puzzle before you find something that you really like?
And I'm setting on my own, probably not because I'm too lazy. Sometimes I change something because I don't like how the puzzle works. Like in turquoise, I changed after I put it to test because I had put a given and a clue to disambiguate a deadly pattern, but I didn't like how it looked
Mhm.
and how the puzzle solved. And then Mixel suggested, what if you put that line here? Oh, that solves the puzzle. Oh my god, great. And I changed, I took off the clue and the given and put the line. But integral, we did the first version, it was like a 2 stars.
Mhm.
And the puzzle was great, the flow was really nice. But we wanted to make it a little more difficult. And we kept the break-in idea, the basic of the break-in, and tried to make it a little bit harder.
Mhm.
And we managed to do that. A lot of versions, a lot of shape of cages. We took cages, put lines, took off lines. And then we end up with this final version of the puzzle.
I noticed that a few of the puzzles you have on LMD Gemination and Parallel State, I think, are the only 2 that have like V2 in the name. Are those like, did you upload previous versions of those and delete them or something? Or is that just to denote for yourself
No,
that they're the
it's
second
literal
version?
because I really did 2 versions of the puzzle.
Right.
Gemination had a previous version that the dots were in different places, but I didn't like it that much. So I changed it and make a second version. And I post this version for testing with the title version 2. And I was too lazy to change that. And so I kept using version 2. And parallelly, the first version had Oh, I forgot the name. Entropic line
Okay.
instead of just rampant. So I changed it to make it just rampant.
Hmm.
So I put version 2 because version had an entropic line.
I notice that in the description for Parallel Slate, you said, so here's another 1 out of 5 puzzle, but it ended up rating
Yeah.
2 out of 5.
2.
Was it
Yeah,
harder
I
than
really
you?
thought it was a 1 star.
Are there
I think it was
often,
harder than I.
do you disagree with sometimes LMD's ratings on things, or?
The time they are right. But I think 2 stars fair. There's some a little bit harder than 1 star logic on the puzzle.
Mhm.
I think stars are fair. I really get a really weird ratings on the puzzles. Like Parallel Lake, for example, had a 5 out of 5 of difficult rating. I was like, what? 5 out of 5?
Like one person wrote rated 5 out of 5.
Yeah, one person rated 5 out of 5. I was like,
Huh.
interesting. Most of the time they end up being the difficult I was intended to.
Could. That's very, very strange. It should be a 1 out of 5. Oh, it was a 5 out of 5, so that's weird. How often do you go looking for puzzles to solve, and where do you go looking?
I usually solve puzzles every day. I tend to look for it in the testing channel on the
Mhm.
CTC most of the time. But nowadays, I think I just go with whatever they're solving on Skunkworks.
Okay.
Usually the crazy Japanese sans puzzles or nightmare puzzles, or if anyone has someone for tech, we solve each other's puzzles.
Right. Uh, do you usually get your puzzles tested publicly still, or do you have like private people that you go to like to test all your puzzles?
Just put them on the testing channel on CTC and make everyone on Skunkworks do the puzzle too.
Of course.
Yeah, roller coaster maybe, yes.
How do you usually come up with your puzzle names, and what do you think is your best puzzle name?
I literally just randomly pick names from geological stuff. Of the color of the lines, literally. I don't have much imagination for that. Because I have like 8,000 minerals to choose from. I just like pick one and put the name of the
There's
puzzle.
definitely a few that aren't geology themed, like Can You Count? Nivea
First,
mentioned.
yeah, can you count is definitely what you need to do on the puzzle. So count it in the numbers, literally.
So what do you think is your best puzzle name?
Oh, I have no idea. Okay, let me think. I don't think people know what a horse and a graben are because they like the top and the bottom part of a geological fault.
Okay.
So the puzzle has whispers and ribbons, and you need to keep track of the line, the low and the high digits. So the low and the high, like rose and ribbon, or just put the name. But I don't think anyone gets that.
I certainly did not get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you know why on earth it's called that? That's very weird.
No, I have no idea. I have no idea, just the name of the thing.
It kind of sounds like a last name or something, maybe. Now I'm kind of curious.
Probably.
I'm gonna
A
look at
lot
the
of geological terms are from German or
okay, yeah.
French. I don't know if it means anything in those languages. I didn't yet.
Oh, the word horse in German means mass or heap. It was first used in geological sense by Edward Seuss. Interesting. So I guess they're just German words. But
Yeah.
I wonder if you just called it Horst Graben, if it would have been translated by the German site. That would have been a little bit funny.
Oh yeah.
Is there a piece of advice you received early on in your setting career that really helped you that you'd like to share with early setters?
Let me think. I think what helped me get better at setting is trying to think how the solver is gonna solve the puzzle.
Right.
Like you clue what that clue does, how the solver is gonna see the clue. Like, is he gonna look at that spot first?
Mm-hmm.
To the brain, something like that. Like how the puzzle flows to the solver. I think about that a lot. That's why my puzzles are always. I think they are smooth. Like you don't get like stuck in it. At some point, they flow well.
Is there any advice that you wish you had received earlier? Like,
Wish someone had told me how to not get deadly pattern for real. Like I get them every time.
so
Every
you're
single
still
time.
looking for
I
this
put all the
advice?
the logic is beautiful and the last four cells are deadly pattern every time. What how?
Yeah, I don't know if I can really help you there. I don't think there's a general way to avoid derby patterns, at least not that I know of. I mean, you can sort of get a sense for it, but
Yeah, oh my god. And they're usually in a place where there's a bunch of clues around them. I can't put anything else there.
yeah.
Like how did I get a deadly pattern? Oh my god.
I think I've mentioned in some setting videos, like in specific scenarios, like, oh, this might be a deadly pattern, so I should avoid doing this specific thing. But it's more specific situations that I feel like I have addressed, not in general. I don't really know how to, in general, address that, so I don't know if there's a piece of advice for you in that sense. Is there any
Yeah.
advice that you've gotten that you're like, that's bad advice. Don't listen to that.
I don't think I received any bad advice actually. They're all being good to me at least. They're all being good.
Okay, good. Good. They've all passed the test.
Yeah.
Robert had asked a question in chat here, just a second ago. Is there something in geology that you would make into a clue? Like any concept or topic? I'm guessing similar to like the Horst and
Wait.
Gab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait just a minute. It's raining. I need to close the windows.
Okay. Okay. Gonna grab my cat because of this delay, but he just ran by, but I don't see him anywhere. It was just like a flash of gray, and then he was gone. Hey. I found him.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, let me see. Can you repeat the question again?
A rare double disappearance. My cat is a little bit upset. Oh, very upset because of they're vacuuming the hallways in my apartment building. So he's like, get that vacuum away from me. This is scary as hell. Yeah, not a happy kitty right now. Was the window closing mission successful?
Yes.
Good. What? Okay, so Robert had asked, is there something in geology that you would like to make into a clue or a puzzle?
Oh my god, there's patterns in some rocks that I would love to put in puzzles, like the lines in the same patterns. I tried to do that with a 6x6.
Mm-hmm.
There's a texture in a rock called spin effect. So I did a puzzle called spin effects. It has like some parallel crystals, green crystals, and I tried to do that with whispers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looked good. There are rocks like migmatite, sites. They have like crazy patterns that I would love to put in puzzles.
So mostly geometrical patterns, or is there any like
Patterns.
maybe you can communicate that the Earth is solid through puzzles?
Well, I can try to make a puzzle that looks like the inner structure of the Earth, like with the core, mantle, crust.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
one
could work.
day.
Chameleon says, challenge, make an unnamed puzzle, and people need to understand which mineral it is after solving the puzzle.
Oh my god,
I think
that's
that would be
interesting.
quite difficult.
Definitely.
Well, now I have my next speed setting prompt. Could you imagine?
Yeah, for example, the sterilite. If you look at the grid, the central cage, it's a cross. And sterilites can grow like two crystals, can grow perpendicular upon each other and form a cross. That's why I thought of the name sterilite. Yeah, look like the mineral sterilite. But I don't think
Right.
if you're not jealous, you wouldn't know about that.
Oh wait, the other one. No, that one. And then you mentioned this one as well. I finally brought up the I have no idea how to pronounce Spinifex. Spinifex?
Spinifex, yeah.
Spinifex. Okay, you just have to say it
Actually,
fast.
the rocks that I
Right.
university where rocks with that texture. Matites, they have this texture. The rocks, this effect. Really
Curious.
pretty.
Oh, I guess it's also a
I think
plant.
it's the grass. Yeah, it's a type of grass.
Oh,
There's the rock with this texture.
interesting. So the rock
Yeah, this
almost
one.
kind of looks like a fossilized
Yeah,
version of
this is a
plant.
matite.
Huh. Yeah, so like
They are
that sort
really
of
old
thing.
rocks, like 3.5 billion years.
Wow. So how does a rock end up looking like this with all these like stripes?
Yeah. This is a mineral called olivine.
Okay.
When the mineral has space to grow, it can grow really big and form those minerals in forms of plates. And they're like perpendicular or radial. So radial.
Uh-huh.
That's a really specific texture. They almost only found in those type of rocks of a specific period. It is really beautiful to see them on the microscope.
Yeah, definitely. Is this here, let me look up microscope. Wow, these are like psychedelic images.
Yeah,
Awesome. Those are really cool.
and this is what I do basically.
What are what are these plants doing in my rock stream? I love that comment. Yeah, these are really cool.
Yeah,
Goes to desktop
but they're
background.
really complicated.
Well, I can see why you'd want to make a puzzle based on that. Um,
Yeah,
so I guess based on that, I should ask where do your ideas come from? Like, what's your source of inspiration?
I literally just draw random things on the grid most of the time to see if it works or not. Or like I just have an idea out of nowhere, like what if I draw this?
Hmm.
Does it work?
I think you said before that.
With the set puzzles,
Sorry.
yeah, with the set puzzles, we're like, what if the set puzzles? What if I do
Yeah, the
two
set
sets
puzzles.
and put this page, this dot? What does it do?
Sometimes you said, or at one
Like,
point you had said that you set puzzles sometimes like entirely or partially in your head.
yeah, I visualize the pattern and
Hmm.
this does this, this, and this, and this, and this, and then I draw them on the solver, and I try to see if it works until the end. Sometimes it breaks, sometimes it does not break.
Sometimes you have a deadly pattern.
Like sometimes I have a beautiful idea, and in my head it works. And when I put on the solver and try to solve, I see that it doesn't work. Like, damn it.
Yeah, I've had that
And look,
before.
it's so beautiful in my head.
At least you didn't uh, do it on stream, which I did. Uh, let's talk about humor in puzzles. Do you find you have a sense of humor in your puzzles?
My puzzles are that funny. I have some jokes on it. I could try to sell one with one joke. They're usually cute. I think like, the word when I think when I'm setting is that the puzzles are cute.
what does cute mean in terms of puzzles? What is a cute puzzle?
think most of the time, the reaction I get when someone solves the logic in my puzzle, they literally say, "Oh, this is cute." And I think the grid looks cute. The logic is like it's not hard, but it's interesting.
Right.
The reaction, like, "Oh, this is cool. This is cute."
Something that's like it's interesting, but it's not like too difficult to see, I guess, is cute. Or almost like hidden in plain sight could also be sort of cute, right?
Yeah. Like you're not expecting the puzzle to do that, and the puzzle does that.
Yeah.
Like turquoise is like that. You look at the puzzle, you think, this is definitely roped. And then you think, oh, is it? And then, oh, what is you
Right.
doubt yourself.
It's like that clip of turquoise that we showed in the beginning where Simon is saying like,
Yeah.
well, I want this to be blue. But the weird thing that it is blue, but not for the reason that I want it to be blue.
Yeah. Yeah. And turquoise and base smooth also with the 15 sums. Like if you see a 15 sum in 3 cell deal, fine, this is gonna work. It's 15, it's average, and it never works if it's 15.
Right. Sure. Oh. Um, let's talk about aesthetics and puzzles. Like what does a beautiful looking puzzle look like? Is it just about the symmetry or is it about more than that?
I usually think symmetrical puzzles are beautiful, but there are non-symmetrical puzzles that are also beautiful. Like sometimes the combination of clues looks cool. They made a picture, an image that is cool. But
Mhm.
generally symmetrical puzzles are pleasing to the eye. Like you see the same thing one side, the same thing the other side. Like, oh, it's pretty.
Yeah. Do you think your drawing or like artistic mind, like your puzzles benefit from that? I guess.
Oh, I think so. But my puzzles are not symmetrical. They look symmetrical, but they're
Right.
because of the
99%
deadly pattern.
symmetrical. Except for the deadly pattern, of course.
Yeah.
I think actually we were talking about how you can avoid deadly patterns, and one way to avoid deadly patterns is usually to to sort of avoid making everything symmetrical.
Exactly.
That might be too hard though. It might be
Sometimes
too
I
much.
try to add symmetrical clues to
Yeah.
disambiguate them, but they never work. And then, like in base mode, I thought, oh my god, I'm not gonna put just one even square in the corner. It will look so bad. I'll put in both corners, even if one is useless, to make it symmetrical.
Right, of course.
Yeah, the one in box 7, you don't need that one at all.
Unless you do, and just totally
Yeah.
intentional. So talk about the most recent puzzle that you set and how you went about doing it from like the start to the finish.
Yeah, the pass. I drew the lines all symmetrical, like the same shape.
Mhm.
And I add and I thought, oh, those lines have to sum to at least 10. So how can I restrict box 5 with this? And then I put the dots to force the central digit to be a certain digit and force all the pairs
Right.
around the lines in box 5. And then I put the line between box 6 and box 9 to force a specific sum on those lines
hmm
to resolve box 5. I did everything until this point with the lines all symmetrical, and I got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quintuple in row 2. It was like, oh no, I have to change one line. No. And I changed the line in box 1
Right.
because every time I tried to do even a similar shape to this triangle, it broke. But I just put a straight line in one side. And then it resolved.
with some extra dots and stuff. I miss
Yeah. Yeah, the lines are just basic to solve the rest of the puzzle. The logic, it's almost everything in box 5 and box 9.
Everything in box 5 and box 9. Yeah. I guess it all sort of emanates from those two. So
Yeah.
Would you personally consider Sudoku or puzzles to be, I guess, I don't know how to put this, but like a male-dominated hobby?
When I entered the community, I really thought there would be less women.
Really?
There are more than I was expecting, actually. I expected a lot less. But there are a lot of women there. So it's still male dominant, but there are a lot of women there. Everyone's really nice. So
hmm So you don't think it's been much of a factor in terms of like your growth as a setter or a solver, or getting involved in the community?
the community was really nice. Oh my god, especially after I joined Skunkworks and I could talk to everyone in the voice chats and solve puzzles together. Like we almost every night solving puzzles. It was really fun.
Sweet.
So sometimes I should be like, oh my god, this set is so amazing. I'll be afraid to talk to them, but they are really nice people.
Right. Yeah, that's generally been my experience as well. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
it's transferable. What do you think is the most Belzita-y puzzle that you've made? Like, what sort of puzzle that you've made encapsulates like your style of setting?
Probably turquoise. I think this is what I usually tend to do, a lot of geometry,
hmm
arithmetic, and some beautiful pattern of lines. I'm trying to do more puzzles with lines. I really like lines, but I think my first puzzles usually had more cages than lines.
Right. Would you say that like Killer is your
Yeah,
your
because I
first
was
love
more
and
used to Killer Sudoku before.
yeah,
A lot more used to Killer before, so I started using Killer. But now that I solve more puzzles with lines, I try to set more puzzles with lines.
right. I mean, region some lines are really the killer Sudoku of lines, I suppose.
Yeah,
It's like a little bit of an ambiguity on killer cages in a way.
yeah.
Okay. Let's ask the most useful question, and then we'll get into maybe the rapid fire questions. What's a question you want to be asked, and what's your answer to it?
If you're ready to hear a monologue about Chinese book,
Sure.
oh my god, What's your favorite book? What else is she? Of course. I'm completely obsessed with this. Oh my god, I love this so much. If you don't have anything to read, please read Madame Sushi is the best thing in the world. There are 4 books. Like, wonderful, perfect. And I
What are
have a lot
they?
of things. You saw the bunny, the
Right.
shirts, I have posters. I have the flute that the main character plays in. I don't play flute. I don't know why I bought it, but I have it. There's a acrylic right here with the main characters and the bunny.
Wow.
Really love
Dedicated.
those.
So what's the pitch
Yeah,
for
there's a
this?
book. Yeah, there's a book, a manga, anime, and drama. So there's a lot of things to watch. And the story is about Chinese cultivation. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. It's like not cultivation of plants, like you cultivate your spirit.
Okay, yeah.
So in Chinese, the name of this genre is Shamsha. It's like it's an immortal hero. They live in sects on remote places, usually mountains, and they fight against the spirits of the dead
Okay.
and zombies and stuff like that. And they cultivate the spirits and form like a core of spiritual inside their body. And the story is about that, about a guy that it was a cultivator, but instead of fighting against the spirits of the dead, he controls the spirits of the dead. He's like a demoniac cultivator.
Okay.
And it's a really cool story.
Cool.
I love it so much.
Well, that was no hesitation on that answer.
No, of course
Just
not. I love it. It's my favorite
waiting
thing in the world.
waiting for that question.
Yes.
All right, let's do some rapid fire questions here. So one answer the other as quick as you can. Local or global deductions.
Local.
Coloring or good living.
I like both the coloring.
Simple or complex.
Simple.
Geometry or arithmetic. That's a hard
Oh my
one.
god. I'll say. I can't choose. Arithmetic.
Geometry or arithmetic. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Actually, I'm gonna usually use both.
Okay, maybe we'll come back to that one. Penfa or F puzzles.
F puzzles.
Sudoku or pencil puzzles.
Sudoku.
Chaos or order.
In the puzzles, order.
Calculator or abacus.
Calculator.
Cages or lines.
Lines.
Arrows or dots.
Dots.
And to disambiguate a puzzle, a given digit or a clue.
We choose both.
Choose both. Outside or inside clues.
I put both inside.
Okay. And then we'll come back to geometry or arithmetic.
Oh my god, can I choose both again?
Okay, we'll have to go with both, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. See you, David. Have a good one. Rapid section failed.
Playing this piece first, so what can I do? Oh, chameleon.
That's a good question.
Oh my god. What made me choose? Okay, let me see.
Can you really
Logical.
choose? Oh,
His hair
okay.
is so
She
pretty. Oh my
she
god.
shows. Uh, at one point, Logan Wall had asked someone, and I'm using the question now. What are your least favorite things about Sudoku?
I think I like almost everything about Sudoku except the little killer between like the full rank.
Okay.
Like I really, really like Sudoku. And I spend that time that I spend reading mangas, I'm doing Sudoku. So
My EXO says deadly patterns.
yeah, Deadly Penance, yes. Oh my god, I hate it. Oh, and I make a lot of typos. So I usually solve the entire grid, and then I find that a typo in the middle of the grid. And I was
Hmm.
like, how the hell I did that? Oh my god.
Um,
No, Andrew, no doublers. I can't even do the normal ones.
do you often put in more clues than make it to the final version of the puzzle? Like, do you remove clues often?
Not that much. I usually add clues more than take out clues.
Okay, so we've gone over what are your least favorite things about Sudoku? What are your favorite things about Sudoku? Why do you like Sudoku so much?
Yeah. I've been solving Sudoku for so long. My mother used to buy some magazines with puzzles. She will do the crosswords,
Hmm.
and I'll to borrow the magazines to do the Sudokus. I really like puzzles with numbers, so I will do all the puzzles with numbers, especially
Hmm.
Sudoku, and I would buy magazines with just Sudoku to do.
Hmm.
I really, I really like the classics to put the digits 1 to 9 in every box, row, and column. That's really fun. Why not? And I really like mathematics since I was little, so everything with numbers I really like.
Right. Have you ever tried to
I
set
don't
a
think
classic?
people know.
Oh yeah, what do people not know?
No, classics is hard. People don't know this, but geology,
Yeah,
it's of course with a lot of maths, a lot of math.
yeah.
People when they enter the geology course, they think it'll be like geography, and it's more like you have a lot of physics, a lot of
Yeah.
geometry, a lot of calculus, a lot of things like that. I really like that.
Yeah, I don't know if people realize, but geology is not is not like a qualitative science. It's very quantitative.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess that's fine for you because you like math and all that, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who also are
Yeah,
in there
yeah,
because they like
like
the pretty rocks, right?
yeah, my class started with 40 people, and at the end of the first semester, there were 20.
Oh God, that's a really
Like
bad
half of them
showing.
went.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they didn't know that much math.
Hmm. how many people were in your graduating class then?
Can you repeat that?
How many people were in your graduating class?
Oh, I think less than 20.
Yeah.
Geology is, of course, a lot of trips
Mhm.
and stuff like that. To some people don't. I'm a science person, but I like the trips that we do. We usually in remote places, just looking at rocks.
Right.
There's not much people around, just us and the rocks and the sun, and it's super hot. So it's like raining a lot, and you have to hide on the trees, and there's snakes.
That sounds very
It's
different
really
than
crazy, but it's really
that sounds very I was gonna say that sounds very
yeah,
different from your day to day.
yeah. And you should also don't sleep on the trees because they're like you go see the rocks like 7 a.m. and then go back 7 p.m. and then you need to start drawing the maps and put everything on Excel and start writing what you saw on the rocks and start drawing things. And when you finally get to sleep, it's like 1 a.m. and you have to wake up 5 a.m. the next day.
Oh my word, that sounds awful.
It is. It's fun, but you get really tired.
Yeah, I bet. All right, I don't really have any more questions to ask, but I really enjoyed this discussion, and thank you so much, Belzita or Belzita.
Yeah.
And thank
I
you,
just Bells, Bella, Isabella, whatever.
Bells, Bells. Yeah, but thank you everyone who came out and was in chat active, and those of you who are lurking as well. Thank you for I'm sure liking this stream. Yeah, we got 33 likes, 27 people. That's a good over 100%. All right, well, thank you so much, Bells, and we will yay lurking, and we will see you next week. Belzita knows who the next interviewee is, so drum roll please. Do your own personal drum roll. We have no drums provided.
Yeah. And the next person is gonna be interviewed is Lone People. Yes, people.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Yeah, can't wait. Glum Hippo is an awesome setter, so should be fun.
Yeah, thanks
Glum
everyone. That
Hippo.
was really fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, everyone.